The Last Light at Knock John. Part 1, The Approach. The North Sea was quiet that morning. Not calm. Not safe. But quiet. The kind of quiet that settles between the waves like breath being held. Alex dipped his paddle into the water again. The soft scrape echoed off nothing. He was alone. Just him, his camera gear, and the old fishing kayak he'd rented from a half-listening man in Harwich. The man hadn't looked up from his paper when Alex said he was heading to Knock John Fort. Just muttered, "Hope you don't believe in ghosts." Alex had chuckled then. But the fog that crept in over the sea had a way of making that laugh stick in his throat. The fort rose out of the water like something from a fever dream. For rusted legs stabbed into the sea floor, holding up a boxy, decaying hulk of metal and concrete. Knock John. A Maunsell sea fort. Built for war. Long abandoned. And completely, utterly still. The fog thickened behind him. The shoreline was gone. Only the fort remained. Alex circled slowly, scanning with his lens. Windows stared back, black and empty. Rust streaked the walls like dried blood. Antennas pointed at a sky that had long stopped listening. A rope ladder dangled on one side, swaying ever so slightly, like something had just used it. He steadied the kayak, checked the waterproof bag on his back, and grabbed the ladder. The first thing that hit him was the smell. Salt. Mold. And something else. Something older. The deck groaned beneath his boots as he stepped into the belly of the fort. Everything was left like someone meant to come back. Chairs. Tools. A mug turned over in a corner. A ration tin still sealed. Alex raised his camera. Click. Click. But the sound was too loud in the silence. He lowered it. Just listened. Somewhere deeper inside. A soft thud. He stood still. And then smiled to himself. Old metal, he thought. Just settling. Or wind. Definitely wind. But there was no wind. End of part 1. To be continued. White heavy check mark. The Last Light at Knock John. Part 2, Forgotten Rooms. Alex stepped carefully into the main corridor. The metal walls were streaked with rust, flaking like old paint. A strange hush filled the air, not silence, exactly. More like a waiting. The floor creaked under his boots as he walked. He paused at a doorway, pushed it open. Inside, 2 narrow bunks. A dented tin mug sat on a shelf. A coat still hung from a rusted hook. Dust floated in the beam of sunlight from a cloudy window. And there, on one of the beds, a notebook. He lifted it carefully. The cover was brittle with age. Inside, the handwriting was precise. March 3rd, 1943. Heard it again last night. Second watch reported movement in the fog. Private Haynes swears he saw a light moving across the sea. Not a ship. Something slower. Closer. Watching. Alex turned the page. March 6th. Radio's been acting strange. Humming, even when powered off. Morse key tapping on its own. Haynes says we shouldn't answer. Says it's calling out our names now. Alex closed the book and set it down. Something about the words made the air feel colder. Like the room remembered. He moved deeper into the fort. More hallways, metal stairs, rooms filled with echoes. In one chamber, he found a bank of old equipment. A rusted radio set. Gauges and dials. The light was dim, but on one side. He saw fresh scratches in the dust. Fingerprints. Circular. As if someone had turned the dial. Recently. Alex leaned in. The radio was off. No power. But he swore he could hear it. Just beneath the silence, a slow tapping. He stepped back. Then heard it again. Knock. Knock. From somewhere deeper in the fort. The last light at Knock John. Part 3, Lights in the Fog. Alex woke to the sound of dripping water. It was still dark. The kind of darkness that feels heavy. Complete. He reached for his flashlight and flicked it on. The beam bounced off rusted pipes and narrow walls. Nothing moved. But he had the sense something had. He checked his camera. Still hanging from its strap. Battery low, but intact. Then he flipped through the photo roll. Click. Click. Rust. Journal. A close-up of the old ration tin. Then, a photo he hadn't taken. A long corridor. A figure at the end. Faint. Blurry. Wearing something dark. Uniform? The next photo, same corridor. The figure was closer. Alex stopped breathing. He looked around. That hallway was one deck above. He remembered passing it. But he had been alone. He set the camera down. Pulled his jacket tighter. And decided he would leave first thing in the morning. At dawn, fog hugged the sea. Thicker than before. He stepped out onto the catwalk, the old planks soft beneath his boots. The water below was a silent, endless grey. No horizon. No boat in sight. But on the far tower, a light flickered on. Warm. Yellow. Faint through the mist. One window. Second level. A place he hadn't explored yet. Then he saw something move. A shadow behind the glass. Not a trick of light. Someone was there. Alex stared. The light stayed on. The figure didn't move. He raised his hand. Waved. Nothing. Just that dim glow. Flickering like an old filament bulb. Like something was breathing behind the glass. The last light at Knock John. Part 4, The Man Who Never Left. Alex stepped through the rusted bulkhead into the far tower. The one with the light. The one where the shadow moved. It was silent now. No glow in the window. Only a smell, faint but strange. Like gun oil and damp wool. The room was narrow. Rows of lockers lined the walls. A single wooden bench sat beneath a cracked porthole. And standing there, a man. He was facing away, looking out at the see-through fog-frosted glass. He wore a faded naval uniform. Dark coat. Double-breasted. Cap low over his brow. Alex froze. Hello? His voice cracked the quiet. Are you with the Coast Guard? The man didn't move. Alex took a step forward. The floor creaked. Still no reaction. Then slowly, the man turned. His face was pale. Eyes hollow. Not empty, but heavy. Like they had seen too much, too long ago. We stayed, the man said. Alex blinked. What? We stayed to keep it out, the man repeated. But you opened the door. Before Alex could speak, the man stepped back into the shadows. And was gone. No footsteps. No sound. Just the faintest breath of air, like a sigh from the walls. Alex backed out into the hallway. Heart racing. He looked down. There, a patch of dry rust on the floor where the man had stood. Boot prints. Sharp. Precise. Leading to the spot. And stopping. He turned and ran down the stairs. Out into the cold sea air. He didn't look back. But as he crossed the catwalk, something caught his eye. The window. The one on the upper floor. The light was on again. And the man was standing there. Watching. The last light at Knock John. Part 5, The Last Signal. Alex didn't sleep. He sat by the entrance hatch, backpack ready. Eyes fixed on the grey where sea met fog. Waiting for sunrise. Waiting for rescue. But dawn never came. The light behind the clouds stayed dim. Colorless. Like time itself had stalled. Then. A sound. Low. Distant. A siren. Not from the shore. Not from any passing ship. It came from below. From the ocean. He stepped onto the deck. The fog parted just enough to show the surface, rippling outward. From the base of the fort. From beneath. Then the radio sparked. The old one. Dead. Disconnected. Its dial began to glow. And a voice crackled through, soft, broken. Do not open the hatch. Static. Do not open the hatch. Alex stared. The hatch beside him. Locked. Bolted from the outside. But now it trembled. Once. Twice. Then a knock. From underneath. He backed away. The voice returned. One must stay, or it will return. Then silence. He turned to the catwalk. The boat was gone. The rope ladder, swaying. Not in wind. In rhythm. Like someone was climbing. But nothing was there. Alex ran to the far end of the fort. Past rusted doors and fallen beams. To the highest platform. And there, standing at the railing, was the man. The same uniform. Same eyes. You were never meant to come here, he said. Alex swallowed hard. Then what happens now? The man raised a hand, pointing downward. And below, in the fog. Lights. Dozens. Glowing, moving, circling beneath the sea. They're waking, the man whispered. And one must stay.